Okay, so here's the first one. I just kind of cleaned it up. I'm going to just put the tassel through here and tie it up. See how cute that is?
Hello everyone, and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, I am demonstrating how to engrave acrylic bookmarks with my Cricut Maker. This is what one of them looks like, and I love it so much. You'll be able to see a close-up of it as we get later into the video. Now, I've been asking you to like and subscribe and do all the things. I'm also going to ask you to hype the video. That is one of the features that YouTube has in place right now. I'm not sure how long they're going to have it in place, but it's for content creators with less than 500,000 subscribers, and that is me. So if you find this video helpful, please remember to hype it, like it, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's look at the materials and dive right in.
The materials I'm using for this tutorial include my Cricut Maker. I'm also using the engraving blade. It's number 41. It's an authentic Cricut blade. I'm not using an off-brand. I'll use painter's tape to hold the acrylic blanks down. I'm using these acrylic bookmarks that I purchased from Amazon. They came in a pack of 20. They also came with these long tassels. I love these a lot. I'll use a green standard grip mat and a bundle of files that I purchased from the Design Bundles website. Okay, now without further ado, let's go over to the computer so that I can show you the file that I'm downloading from Creative Fabrica. I'm going to show you the bundle that I downloaded from Design Bundles, and I'm also going to show you how to prepare the files if you are not a Cricut Access subscriber. Let's go there now. The first thing we're going to do is go to the Creative Fabrica website and download the Hatch Fill SVG. If you followed my tutorial when I did the engraved acrylic keychains, you'll notice that I also use this same Hatch Fill pattern to do engraving on acrylic. We're going to get this downloaded, and then we'll go over to the Design Bundles website and I'll show you the bookmarks that I plan to use and download this bundle that I purchased on one of their dollar deal days. Their $1 deals always happen on the last Wednesday of every month, and you don't have to be a member, but I am a Plus member. I have their lowest possible membership available, and so what I'll do is get these downloaded. Once I extract the files that I plan to use, I will upload them into Cricut Design Space. And if you do not have Cricut Access as a subscription, you'll use this option to get the images prepared. So the first thing I'll do is go to a website that's called remove.bg. Remove.bg will remove the background from the images. So I'll click on Upload Image. I'll navigate to where I have my bookmarks saved. Let's go with this one right here, Hot Cocoa Christmas and Books. And what I want this website to do is just remove that background for me. That's it. And once that's done, I'll click Download. I'm going to go with the free option because I don't have a paid membership to this website. Once I get it downloaded, I'll click right here. Now my file is still a PNG, it just doesn't have a background, which is exactly what I want. You are only going to use this option if you are not a Cricut Access subscriber. So what I'm going to do here is click on Upload Image. I'll navigate to where I have the bookmarks saved, and I will upload one here to get the background removed. Let me find one that I like. I think I want to go with this one that just says Fa La 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 Fiction. I'll click Upload, and all I want is to have the background removed. Now it also removes the lines and the text at the top, but I have to just be okay with that because this is doing the heavy lifting for me. So what I'll do is click download. I'm going to go with the free option, and I would do this for any of the bookmarks that I'm planning to engrave. Okay, so now we've done that. We are ready to go into Cricut Design Space. I am in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I'm going to do is bring in the hatch fill that I downloaded from the Creative Fabrica website. Now for me, it's not going to be in a recent upload because I used it like 2 weeks ago. So I'll click on New Project, and I'll just go to a blank canvas. And I'll click upload, and I'll go to view all, and I'll start with an uploaded image, which is the hatch fill pattern, and I will just add it to the canvas. Now I'll go back to the canvas. Okay. All right. Now the file comes in white, and it's showing that it's black. I'm not really sure why it comes in white. Is fine. What I'll do is just change the color of the background so I can always see where it is. I'll move this over. Now this is the hatch fill that I downloaded from the Creative Fabrica website, and although it doesn't look like anything but a rectangle, it's really a collection of lines that I'll use to help the engraving be darker. All right, the next thing I want to do is bring in one of the bookmarks. I'm going to show you both ways. The first way is if you are a Cricut Access subscriber. So I'll click on Upload. I'll navigate to where my files are saved. I have them in a folder called my Design Bundles files. And normally what I do with my files is I label them according to the name of the bundle. So I'll go and I'll bring one in. Let's go with this one right here. It just says reading is my Christmas superpower. Okay, I'm going to click continue, and I'm not going to do anything here. I'll click apply and continue. Right here, this is a Cricut Access subscriber exclusive. I'm going to bring this in as multiple layers. I'll click continue. I'm clicking continue. I'm clicking upload. I'm not making any changes right here. Now, a lot of this it doesn't look good, but it's okay. What I'll do now is click right here, and I can open up this, this group basically. And what I want to do is ungroup this, and I am going to remove this background piece, and I can contour this out so I don't have all of this stuff at the top. So I can click on contour, and I can just start to remove all of those little pieces because I don't need them. Close this out, and there it is. Now this isn't much of it doesn't look like much of a bookmark, but I could use it if I wanted to. All right, so now the next thing I would do is change this rectangle from a basic cut to a pen, and I would change the size of it. I would click right here on unlock proportions. I would change the width to 2, and I would change the height to 5.0. And I would make this fit inside, but I'm not going to do it just yet, because what I need to do is slice this out of here. So let's see, if I put it on top, like just right there, and select both, I am going to now slice this text out of the hatch lines, okay? Remember, slice only works when you have 2 layers selected. So I can move the lines, I can move the text, and I can just decide which one I think is the best. I think this one is fine. I can delete this layer, and I can also delete this. Now I'll just resize this to fit in here. And since it's not much text, I can just make it, fit in like that. And I can also make it taller, since I have a lot of extra space, like that. That looks great. So then I will select both, and I would select the option to center this. I think that looks great. And now what I'll do is attach. So now I have one bookmark ready. Well, undo. Let me undo that. So what I need to do with this layer, the slice layer, the text, is change it from a basic cut to engrave. Okay, so now I'm ready once I click attach. I'll do that again. So let's go with another bookmark. I'll click upload. Now all of these that you see right here were uploaded using the layers option. So I'll click on, let's go with candy canes and plot twist. And when the option came up, I clicked on the option for layers. Okay, so I'll click right here on the file, and I can go right here to the layers panel. I'm going to ungroup this. I'm going to move this layer out, changing this background layer to a pen, and I'm changing the size of it. I'm going to unlock the proportions, changing the width to 2.0, changing the height to 5.0, and I'm going to change this. Let me make it smaller. Uh-oh. Bringing it right here on top. So now this is going to be my bookmark. I'm going to put it right here on top. I'll select the bookmark and the hatch fill. I'll click slice and decide. So I have one layer here. This is a layer. I'm going to delete this one. I'm deleting this one also. I have this layer right here, and I'm going to make sure it fits inside of my rectangle. Let's change the background color again. Let's change it to green. Let's change it to yellow. Okay, we can see it really good. And so I'm going to make sure that this fits in here like this, like that. And I'll select both, and I'll click align and center. That looks great. And so now I'll select this layer, this inside layer, this layer right here, and I need to change this to engrave and then put it inside. Okay, I keep forgetting to do that. I'll select both layers. I'll click align, center, and attach. So now I have 2 bookmarks. Let's try that one more time. Let's click on upload. Remember, when I upload it in layers because I am a Cricut Access subscriber. Okay, and so I want to go with this one right here, Fa La 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 Fiction. And I'm bringing the file in. Let's close this out. And let's bring the view down to 75%. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go over here to the layers panel. I'm going to ungroup the layers, and I'm changing this rectangle from a basic cut to a pin. Okay, and I'm unlocking the proportions. I'm changing the width to 2.0. I'm changing the height to 5.0. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to fit it in here, and I'm going to select both, selecting the hatch fill pattern plus the bookmark, and I'm going to slice. Okay, I'm going to move this out. I'll select one. I normally just go with the first fill. I'll select this one and delete, select this and delete. I'm going to change this from a basic cut to engrave, and then I'll make sure that it fits nicely inside of this rectangle. Like that. I'll select both, and I'll click align and center, and then I will attach. So now I have 3 bookmarks that are ready to go. Now let's work with that bookmark that we remove the background from, and we're going to do it the same way pretty much. I'm going to click on upload. I'm going to go to upload image. Now that file should be in my downloads. So I will click on my downloads, and that one was called Fa La 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 Fiction. You can see it doesn't have a background, but it's still a PNG. I'll click continue. I'm not going to make any changes right here. I'll click apply and continue. I'm selecting the flat graphic because if you're not a Cricut Access subscriber, you have this option. You can click it as a flat graphic, or you can choose this one for single layer. Let's choose this one, single layer. Click continue. Not making any changes right here. I'll click upload. Okay, and so this one is just pretty much the same as this. It just doesn't have the lines. All right, and so what I'll do is close this out. I will, and now also I don't have the rectangle, so I'll have to make a rectangle. We'll look at that in a minute though. So what I'll do here is bring this over. Let's bring it down just a little bit so it fits in there, like that. Okay, and we'll select both, and we will slice. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way, choose one of these options. I'll choose the first one and just move it over. I can delete this layer, I can delete this, and I can just turn this off for now. Now I still need a rectangle. I'm going to change this to engrave, and I'm also going to go over here to the shapes, and I'm going to select this square right here. I'll close that out. I'll unlock the proportions, change the width. The width is already fine at 2. I'm changing the height to 5.0, and I'm changing this from a basic cut to a pin, and then I'll make sure this fits in there nicely. Like that. Now I don't really like the way winter looks. It looks kind of too smushed. Okay, I like that. Now what I'll do now is select both, and I will click align and center, and then I will attach. So now I'm ready. I'm good to go with 4 bookmarks. This one was done without a Cricut Access membership. These 3 were done with the Cricut Access membership, so it can be done either way. All right, I'm ready to go. I'm going to click make, and I think I better save these as 4 engraved bookmarks. And I'll click save. Perfect. All right, now I don't want them to be that close. I think that's a little bit too close. All right, so let's move these down. Let's move this one over here. All right, so having that pin line lets me know where to put each bookmark. That's the purpose of it. So I'm going to put one at the 1 and 1 inch mark, one at the 1 and 4, one at the 1 and 7. And I don't like to go past the 10 when I'm doing engraving. So what I'll do is actually just change this to go this way. And I will put it here at the 7 and 1. All right, I'm going to click continue. I am going to mirror my files. Let's go back and look at it. All of my files they look like they're facing up. I like to do my engraving on what's considered as the back. So I'll click mirror and I'll click done. And for materials, I like to select the tooling leather 6 to 7 ounces. I'll click done. Now I'm going to do everything else. You'll see me do everything else when I'm back on the camera. You'll notice that I'm not going to use a pen. The purpose of the pen is basically a hack. Okay, now everything I'll do from here will be back on the camera. These blanks come with plastic on both sides. What I typically do is just remove the plastic from one side, and I follow the pattern from what I chose. Once I remove the plastic from one side, I normally place the blank with the plastic on the mat. So this side has plastic, this side no plastic. Placing it down with the hole at the top, and the placement has already been decided. Remember, I had one that was at the 1 and 1 inch mark. Okay, so once I have it in place, I just secure it with painter's tape, and I just tape the edges. I don't try to stay kind of like right at the edge. A little bit of engraving on the tape is fine, but you don't want too much engraving. So I'm taping the edges. The next one was at the 4 and 1, so 4 and 1. Once again, removing the plastic from one side. Placing it down right here. So it's finished. I'm going to remove it and get this cleaned up, and I'll show you my process for cleaning it up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I add the different colored tassels. Okay, let's take a look at one of them. So this is the engraving on the back. I'm going to remove the plastic from the front. Let you look at it. Look at that. And now I'm going to clean it up. I just like to use, sometimes I use tape, sometimes I use a lint roller. It just depends. So let me get some better tape and try to clean this up. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the rest of these from the mat. Okay, peel away the plastic from this side. See that? And then I can add tassel. Okay, so let's get a final look. This one says wrapped up in a good book. You can look at how good the engraving is. This one says reading is my superpower. So it kind of looks like I got a little bit too close to the tape right there, or it engraved some of the tape so it didn't come out as good as it could on the C, but I still love it. This one says fa la 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 fiction, super cute. This was the one that I removed the background from, and I brought it in as a single layer. And then this is the other one that was done just like the other 4. So hopefully you did find this tutorial helpful. If you did, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications, because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching.